Hello and welcome to Intersectional Psychology, the podcast that explores psychology's role in promoting social justice. I'm your host, Aurora Brown. I'm a registered counsellor in Cape Town, South Africa. I am so glad you're here. Okay, so on last week's episode, I said that we would be having our very first guest on the podcast today. But I forgot that when I started this podcast, I promised to release a guided relaxation practice once a month. And that was always the plan for this episode. So that is what we are doing today. And then next week, we will welcome our first guest, registered counsellor Shahida Sadek, to talk to us about decolonizing psychology. But today, firstly, I'm going to provide a little bit of context about the exercise we're going to do. And then once I've set the scene, I'm going to turn my camera off and just have a peaceful screensaver here on the screen to help you stay in the zone if you choose to keep your eyes open. In this first guided relaxation, we're going to start with the foundation of all nervous system regulation. Diaphragmatic breathing, also known as belly breathing. It's a simple, evidence-based, and very useful technique that we can use at any point in the day when we feel stress or panic coming on. Once you get used to it, it only takes a few seconds for you to regulate yourself in an emergency. Or you can extend it into a longer session, like this one that we're doing today. Just a quick content note. As a disabled person myself, I do want to acknowledge that in this practice, I'm going to use some normative language about body configurations and abilities. If there's something you're unable to do, or that just doesn't hit right for your mental map of your body, please feel free to adapt the exercise however you need. Or if a suggestion doesn't land, just let it flow past you like an irrelevant leaf on a stream. For example, I'm going to mention keeping your feet grounded on the floor. But I personally don't have feet. So I'm going to use that instruction to center and ground my body as best as I can in my seat. This space is here for you, not the other way around. Before we begin, here's the nerdy theory bit, but I promise it's worth it. Most of us breathe from our chest when we're stressed. That's called thoracic breathing. And it's fine in short bursts. It has a use. But when it becomes your default, it tells your brain that you're under threat. Because when we are breathing fast and shallow, and our hearts are beating fast, we can more easily take action to fight or to run away. We stay in fight or flight mode because we are only getting oxygen into the top lobe of each lung, which means we are not getting rid of all the carbon dioxide building up in our lungs, and that can lead to a panic attack. And we are also keeping our diaphragm rigid. Now, the diaphragm is a big muscle here under your lungs. And keeping it rigid sends messages to the amygdala in our brain to go even more into its survival responses. So it's this endless loop of panic. When you breathe into your belly, though, you flatten your diaphragm and massage your vagus nerve, which sends calming signals up to the amygdala, which is your brain's panic button. In return, your body starts to produce serotonin, melatonin, and endorphins, which are basically stress-busting, mood-boosting, sleep-bringing magic. Not only does diaphragmatic breathing help you relax, but it also lowers your blood pressure, lowers your heart rate, increases your blood oxygenation, and improves muscle function during exercise to prevent strain. Now, take a moment to settle in. You can sit up tall but supple with your feet grounded, or lie down with a cushion under your knees. This space is yours. Take what works, leave what doesn't. While we're going through this practice, if at any point you feel a bit lightheaded, it means there's still a buildup of carbon dioxide in your body. So you can try breathing out for longer. Slow and soften your exhale. So, let's start with our breathing. But I don't want you to think about your breathing right now. I want you to think for a moment about whether you are right-handed or left-handed. Okay? Wonderful. Now just relax your dominant hand on your lap or at your side. And now I want you to place your non-dominant hand flat on your tummy. So if you are right-handed, just relax your right hand and place your left hand on your stomach. If you are left-handed, then relax your left hand and place your right hand on your tummy. Now, take a slow breath in through your nose. And as you do, see if your belly rises under your hand. Now breathe out gently through pursed lips, like you're blowing through a straw, or blowing out all the candles on your birthday cake. If your stomach is staying relatively flat and your hand is relatively still on your belly as you breathe in and out, it means you are mostly engaged in thoracic breathing, up in your chest. Okay, so have a look there at your hand on your tummy. Now, I don't want you to think about breathing. Instead, I want you to think about your stomach as a balloon. And I want you to think that you're going to inflate this balloon, breathing in through your nose. And your stomach is going to expand. And your hand is going to rise. So, there we go. Keep the balloon inflated and relax. Inhale, belly expands like a balloon. Exhale, belly softens and the balloon deflates. Now, when you breathe into your tummy like that, your diaphragm is able to smooth out and flatten. Now I want you to take your other hand, your dominant hand, and put it on your chest. Okay? Very good. And I want the hand on your chest to be relatively still. And I want the hand on your tummy to be the only one that moves. So, now inflate the balloon for a count of 3. Push, push, push your stomach out. Hold for a count of 3. And then blow out your birthday candles for a count of 6. Now you might close your eyes for the rest of the practice, or keep them open with a soft gaze resting on a spot in front of you. You don't have to force anything. Just notice the rhythm. And if it helps, imagine the breath is a wave, rising on the inhale, smoothing out on the exhale. Let's keep practicing a gentle rhythm together using the 3-3-6 pattern. Inhale for 3 counts and inflate that balloon. Hold for 3 counts. And exhale for 6, blowing out your birthday candles. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. And again, if you feel dizzy or lightheaded, that's a sign to make your exhales even slower and softer. Let's do that 2 more times. In, hold, out. Keep breathing just like that. And remember, there's no right or wrong, just a chance to meet your breath where it is. And why is this so relaxing? Not only are we sending messages up to the fight or flight center in our brain to go into our parasympathetic nervous system response, which is our relaxed and ready state, releasing those yummy, pain-relieving, stress-busting, mood-enhancing, and sleep-producing neurotransmitters. But we are also getting oxygen to all the lobes of each lung, instead of just sipping oxygen at the top. And we're getting rid of all the carbon dioxide. Keep breathing. If this feels a little awkward at first, that's also totally normal. Many of us have spent years disconnected from our bellies, our breath, or both. But the good news is your nervous system is incredibly adaptable. And this gets easier with practice. Even just 3 breaths 3 times a day can shift your body from stressed to soothed. Take one more deep breath with me, in through the nose. Long, slow exhale. You're doing such important work by simply showing up for yourself in this way. When you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers or toes and gently return to the space around you. Open your eyes if they are closed. This concludes our diaphragmatic breathing session. I hope you feel a little more grounded, a little more connected, and a lot more like yourself. Thank you for listening to Intersectional Psychology. Please follow or subscribe to the podcast to get every episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review Intersectional Psychology in your preferred app. It really helps other people find the podcast. This episode of Intersectional Psychology was researched, written, recorded, and edited by me, Aurora Brown. For a transcript of this episode, please see the link in the show notes on your podcast app or go to intersectionalpsychology.com. You can also check the website or the show notes for a full list of references for this episode. A video of this episode with closed captions is available on youtube.com/@intersectional psychology. To support this podcast and get access to bonus content, including additional episodes and interviews, as well as more guided mindfulness sessions, please go to patreon.com/intersectional psychology. You can also chat with me on Blue Sky at intersectpsy.bsky.social and Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Intersectional Psychology, but mostly Blue Sky. Aurora Brown and Intersectional Psychology are committed to the Sight Black Women praxis. All episodes of Intersectional Psychology are for educational purposes only and are not intended to be a substitute for professional mental health advice, diagnosis, or treatment. I, Aurora Brown, am not able to answer specific questions about individual situations. Always seek the advice of your health provider with any questions you may have regarding a mental health condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard or seen on this podcast. If you think you need immediate assistance, please call your local emergency number or any mental health crisis hotline. Everyone deserves good mental health